This video might just change the way you see wisdom forever. You hear a quote, it sounds profound, it spreads like wildfire. But what if it never meant what you thought it did? Let me tell you something you won't see on most of the internet. They don't tell you this because it's not good for business. But the truth is, we have been deceived. The words of Machiavelli, Nietzsche, Plato, echoed through centuries, have been twisted, softened, and sold. They were never meant to be stitched on posters, printed on mugs, or thrown under selfies. They were battle cries. They were warnings. They were philosophies forged in pain and truth. But somewhere along the way, we stopped listening. We memorized the sound, not the meaning. Social media has educated millions, but it has also blurred the lines. It took quotes meant to stir your soul and turned them into cheap tricks. They even replaced God with girlfriends. I asked for strength, and God gave me difficulties to make me strong. That was the original quote. Now it's floating around as I asked for strength, and she walked into my life. Same structure, completely different meaning. And just like that, the divine became romantic entertainment. This is not just careless. It's manipulation. The kind that rewires how we think, how we love, how we lead our lives. But today, I want to fix that. Today, I will share with you quotes that were never meant to sell. They were meant to awaken. They were said to guide, not to decorate. So stay with me till the end, because this is not just a list of deep quotes. This is your invitation to reshape how you think, reconsider what you believe, and rediscover the original purpose behind the words that shaped our world. And maybe that's exactly what you need right now. When power tests purpose. Nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power. To command is to serve, nothing more, nothing less. The greatest evils in the world will not be carried out by men with guns, but by men in suits sitting quietly behind desks. In matters of conscience, the law of the majority has no place. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Liberty consists in doing what one desires. The price of greatness is responsibility. You become responsible forever for what you have tamed. He who opens a school door closes a prison. You can chain me, you can torture me, you can even destroy this body, but you will never imprison my mind. No man is good enough to govern another man without the other's consent. Nothing is more difficult and therefore more precious than to be able to decide. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Every man has his secret sorrows which the world knows not, and often we call a man cold when he is only sad. We are made wise not by the recollection of our past, but by the responsibility for our future. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. A state without the means of some change is without the means of its conservation. All that is necessary for evil to triumph is that good men do nothing. He who fights with monsters should look to it that he himself does not become a monster. Justice is the constant and perpetual will to render to each one his right. There is a higher court than courts of justice, and that is the court of conscience. All war is a symptom of man's failure as a thinking animal. Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. When pain becomes the teacher, out of suffering have emerged the strongest souls. The most massive characters are seared with scars. The wound is the place where the light enters you. Although the world is full of suffering, it is also full of the overcoming of it. Do not pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. We are all broken. That's how the light gets in. Smooth seas do not make skillful sailors. Turn your wounds into wisdom. Adversity introduces a man to himself. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. What soap is for the body, tears are for the soul. Rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. There is no coming to consciousness without pain. Sometimes, when you're in a dark place, you think you have been buried, but actually you have been planted. The world breaks everyone, and afterward many are strong at the broken places. Tears are the silent language of grief. Man is not made for defeat. Grief does not change you, it reveals you. Hard times arouse an instinctive desire for authenticity. Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. Sometimes you climb the ladder only to discover it was leaning against the wrong wall. People grow through experience if they meet life honestly and courageously. This is how character is built. There is no education like adversity. It is always by way of pain one arrives at pleasure. When truth finally speaks. And you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. The eye sees only what the mind is prepared to comprehend. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. At the center of your being, you have the answer. You know who you are, and you know what you want. The unexamined life is not worth living. Happiness depends upon ourselves. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. He who knows others is wise. He who knows himself is enlightened. We are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. The truth is rarely pure and never simple. Doubt is not a pleasant condition, but certainty is absurd. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. The quieter you become, the more you can hear. All truths are easy to understand. Once they are discovered, the point is to discover them. If you want to awaken all of humanity, awaken all of yourself. Freedom is the will to be responsible to ourselves. You cannot teach a man anything. You can only help him find it within himself. Truth is like the sun. You can shut it out for a time, but it ain't going away. Man is not what he thinks he is what he hides. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. You don't have to control your thoughts. You just have to stop letting them control you. Enlightenment is when a wave realizes it is the ocean. You have just walked through the fire of power, pain, and truth. Let me tell you something I've learned along the way. Quotes were never meant to decorate t-shirts, coffee mugs, or bedroom walls. They were spoken by people who lived through storms, who questioned life when nothing made sense. They weren't trying to inspire. They were trying to survive. I don't share these words so you can collect them. I share them so you can feel them, so you can stop scrolling and start thinking. These quotes are not shortcuts. They are signals. They are warnings. They are maps drawn in blood, truth, and time. So next time you see a quote that sounds deep, pause. Ask yourself, do I live this or just like it? Because the goal is not to sound wise, The goal is to walk a path that actually works. And if you made it this far, maybe you're ready to stop just repeating quotes and start becoming the kind of person who inspires them.